Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're tuned into the Football Central Bureau, your go-to home for all the buzzing updates, behind-the-scenes talks, and breaking stories from the world of football transfers. If something is cooking in the market, you bet we're serving it hot. Today is absolutely packed. There's so much going on. Big names, big clubs, big moves. We're talking Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United, Darwin Nunez heading to Al Hilal, Nicholas Jackson possibly leaving Chelsea, Jack Grealish, yes, Jack Grealish, on Everton's radar, and a historic transfer from Japan you don't want to miss. But before we kick off, let's do the classic football fan hat trick, like, share, and subscribe. When you do all three, you're not just supporting the channel, you're joining a community of smart, passionate football fans who live for this kind of news. Thanks for being here, and now, let's dive into the madness. Benjamin Sesko, agreement with Manchester United. We start with one of the biggest developing stories of the week. Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United. Now rewind back to just a few nights ago, I left you guys with a teaser. I told you that talks were happening, that Manchester United were very confident, and that Sesko had a clear preference. Some doubted. Many asked, is it really United? Others said he was going to Newcastle. But today we can confirm Benjamin Sesko has reached a full agreement with Manchester United on personal terms. This is not speculation, this is done on the player's side. So let's get something clear. Sesko never gave the green light to any other club this summer. Despite reports linking him to Newcastle or other suitors, he only ever said yes to United. And that makes all the difference. Manchester United always knew that player preference would be key. And that's what made the real difference here. Not just money, not just negotiations, but desire. Sesko wanted United. Contract details. Let's break down the terms. 5-year deal. Contract runs until June 2030. Salary and bonuses. Agreed and finalized agent commission. Also fully settled option to extend not currently included, but that could still change later on. The talks really accelerated on Tuesday. The players' camp met with Manchester United. Everything went positively. And then by Wednesday morning, the final draft was sent, signed and sealed. Now we're moving to the final step, negotiation between clubs. Transfer fee negotiations underway. So what's the situation between Manchester United and RB Leipzig? United's bid is structured as €75 million fixed fee plus €10 million in performance-based add-ons. Total potential package €85 million. That's competitive. But more importantly, United are offering a more favorable structure, with more guaranteed money up front. Why does that matter? Because RB Leipzig wants security, and United are willing to give them that. Meanwhile, Newcastle's bid, which reached around €80 plus €10 million, wasn't backed by the same level of commitment from the player. Behind the scenes, this deal is being driven by Christopher Vivell, expert in the Red Bull network, Jason Wilcox, playing a key role in structuring the final stages of the transfer. They're working hard to convince Leipzig to accept a deal that benefits both sides, and at this point, the feeling is very positive. What next for Newcastle? With Sesko off the table, the big question is what now for Newcastle United? They've been working behind the scenes to sign a striker. Even with Alexander Isak already in the squad, they're still in the market, and one name that keeps popping up is Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. Now for clarity, Jackson has been on Newcastle's list for a long time. This is not new. They considered him before making moves for other forwards this summer, and they're now looking at him again as a serious option. Here's the current state. Chelsea are open to letting Jackson leave, but they want a significant fee. This won't be a cheap loan or obligation deal. Jackson himself is open to the move, depending on how the club sort it out. It's not going to be an easy deal to close, but it's one that makes sense, so keep an eye on it. Darwin Nunez to Al Hilal. Here we go coming. This one is huge. Darwin Nunez to Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League is now on the verge of completion. Yes, you heard that right. There were whispers of Milan, but let's clear that up. Milan were never in concrete talks. They were offered the player, but never placed a bid. Financially, it didn't make sense for Milan, no matter how exciting the idea sounded. Instead, Al Hilal moved fast. And now whole club-to-club agreement is done. €53 million guaranteed fee to Liverpool. Add-ons will raise the total package even higher. What's left? Just one thing. Darwin's final green light. But sources say he's keen to join Al Hilal, and talks on the contract are in the final stages. A big push came from manager Simone Inzaghi, who wants Darwin immediately, not at the end of the window. If Darwin gives the thumbs up, medicals will follow, and the official "here we go" is just around the corner. Ritsu Jien makes Japanese history. Now for a story that will make our Japanese viewers proud. A historic transfer has just been completed. Ritsu Jien has moved from Freiburg to Eintracht Frankfurt. Transfer fee, €21 million plus €1 million in add-ons. This makes Jien the third most expensive Japanese international transfer in history. He's been a rising star, and this move cements him as a key player in European football. It's a huge step forward, not just for him, but for Japanese football as a whole. So to all our viewers from Japan, shout out to you, you've got a reason to celebrate today. Jack Grealish, Everton's dream signing, and finally we have what might be one of the most unexpected moves of the window. Jack Grealish to Everton, sounds wild, right? But this one is gaining traction. Here's what we know. Tottenham made an exploratory call to understand his situation, but no advanced talks. Meanwhile, Everton have spoken with his agents. They've now approached Manchester City directly to negotiate a potential loan. This would be a huge move for Everton, especially after missing out on Tyler Dibling. No deal reached with Southampton. Malik Fofana. Agreement reached with Lyon, but the player rejected it, wanting Champions League football. So now, all eyes are on Jack Grealish. He's the dream target, and Everton are doing everything they can to make this happen. Will City let him go? Will Jack want to move? That remains to be seen, but this is a developing story you'll want to follow closely. Final thoughts and fan questions. So that's where we stand today. Another wild day in the world of football transfers. Let's recap. Benjamin Sesko agrees terms with Manchester United. Darwin Nunez set for Al Hilal. Newcastle United reconsidering Nicholas Jackson. Ritsu Jien makes Japanese transfer history. Jack Grealish emerges as a shock target for Everton. Now it's your turn to get involved. Let's talk in the comments. Are you happy with Sesko heading to United? What kind of impact will he make in his first season? Darwin Nunez to Saudi Arabia. Good move or too soon? Should Newcastle go all in for Nicholas Jackson? And can Everton really pull off the shock of the summer with Jack Grealish? If you enjoyed today's video, please like the video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to Football Central Bureau. This is your home for reliable real-time football updates, and I'll be back again soon with more. Until then, stay sharp, stay passionate, and stay football crazy. See you in the next one.